Hi, I'm making this video because I thought you might need some help to get started in your class. We don't want you to get any further behind, and let's take advantage of the time off that you have to get caught up in class. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you need to start at the beginning. Over here, let me just change the student view so you can kind of see what matches up. Okay, so over here in the class plan, you probably are seeing things showing up as overdue. Those are the things you need to go back and start with and complete those. So what I want you to do is start with Unit 1. That's over here. And you're going to start with 103, People in the Americas. You're going to click on that, and you're going to go through the parts of the lesson. This particular lesson is just a reading. There's no quiz or checkpoint at the end, so you're just going to go through the reading. But you need to know that because you're going to have a quiz on it. Okay? So, like say, for example, here you open it up. Lesson Introduction, People in the Americas. And it's going to take you through several pages, and you can just click them over here with the arrow. Be sure that for every lesson where you see lesson resources that you click that open and you get your materials you need. The student guide isn't that important, but you will need the reading guide and the lesson answer key for each lesson. Those are really important because let's open them up and look here. Here is the reading guide, and this is basically going to be good notes for you to take on each lesson. These will be great for you to take your notes on. And the nice thing about this is if we go back here, the lesson answer key, those are the answers for that note, that reading guide. So you always should go back and check, make sure you have the right answers once you've gone through the reading, and try to fill out the reading guide as much as you can on your own. Make sure you go back and check your answers. Another thing you might see here about materials, American Odyssey, A History of the United States, that's your textbook. And History Journal, that just means your notebook. It's nothing specific, just like a notebook or something you use to take notes in. Okay, so it's going to tell you your goals for your lesson. Just say what to do. There's a lot of intro things here. And then we get to the daily checklist, which tells you specifically what you need to do. And it says, for this lesson, you need to read pages 2 through 13, complete the reading guide, and view the following animation from Asia to the Americas. And you might be wondering, what's that? Well, you'll click through the lesson, continue to click through the lesson, and you'll read through this, and you'll see here, read Chapter 1 from the beginning to North American Peoples 1500, pages 2 through 13. Complete the reading guide. The view and animation showing the migration of nomadic hunters across Beringia from Asia to the Americas. And when you click on that, it's going to bring up this little activity that you need to do. So you'll just follow the lesson, the directions, press start, and it's going to show you some things. And you'll go through that on your own, so I'm not going to go through all of it right here. And click next, and we just wait for it to go, and we see that we're on now to the next lesson. That was the end of 103. Now we're on to 104. So you could continue in the same way. Here we are in lesson 104, and it's going to tell you the same things. A little introduction. You're going to click here for your lesson resources. This one, there's no materials other than the student guide, which you can open and you can look at. It's going to go through your objectives, what you need to do to prepare for the lesson, what you're going to do to learn, and so forth. Okay? So, like I said, the student guide isn't as important as the reading guides and lesson answer keys. Okay, so you're going to continue to go through. It's going to say what you're going to do today in this lesson, your goals and activities, what you need to have. Complete the online Native American Culture Groups activity, read the Chapter 1 highlights, complete the checkpoint. Okay, that's our to-do list, your checklist. And it's going to say here, by the time Columbus landed in the New World, hundreds of different tribes, so on and so forth. Complete the following activity. You will need the book to complete it. Save the printout at the end of activity, used as a study guide for the unit test. Yeah, nothing changed there. X out of that. So you're going to click on this Native American Culture Groups. And this is going to bring up another little activity you need to do. It says, first of all, click a region to identify it. So I'm going to click here in the middle. This Native American culture group hunted bison in a large region between the Rocky Mountains and the Mississippi River. I know that is the Great Plains, so I'm going to put A, Great Plains, check, yes. And then you're going to continue doing that for this activity. Okay, you're going to continue to go through it. This Native American culture group used the many rivers, lakes, and thousands of miles of coastline as a means of transportation. Long, cold winters often interrupted food supplies. I know that's the Northeast. And continue. And you're going to keep doing that for each of these highlighted areas that you have to go through. And at the very, very end of this lesson, now this is important, please listen here. At the very end of this little activity, you're going to get a screen that comes up and it says, congratulations for finishing, and then it'll have this keyword in a box. And you need to save that keyword, okay? Because at the end of the lesson, you're going to go to the lesson checkpoint, and it's going to ask you for that word again. So once you're done with that activity, you'll read through the Chapter 1 highlights, which is just a summary of Chapter 1, what you read in the textbook, and then it's going to take you to the quiz. And this is your 104 checkpoint where it's going to ask you for that keyword. Okay, see here, enter the word you received at the end of the Native American Culture Group's online activity. So you need to make sure you go through all parts of that online activity in lesson 1.04 to get that word. Checkpoints. There are several different assessments in U.S. history. You have checkpoints, which are either these keywords that you get from an activity that you put in, or a checkpoint can also be a short 2-3 question quiz on the reading. You also have quizzes at the end of some lessons, and the quizzes will be over that day's lesson and 1 or 2 days prior lessons. You also have unit tests, which is of course a test over all the information in the unit. And you also have graded assignments, which are writing assignments and discussion board postings. Okay, so you would have gone through, taken your checkpoint, completed that, and moved on. Clicking the arrow, and now you're going to bring to lesson 105. And you're just going to keep going through this to try to get through as many lessons as you can. You can also go back to class home and look at that. You can also go to content. There's different ways to get there. Like if you have to stop and you know, like, oh, I have to go now, I have an appointment, or I have to go help make supper or something, and you're going to come back later, you know that you left off on lesson 105, you can also just go to content and find where you need to go through this menu on the left side. You can also be at class home and go over to class content and say, yep, I was on unit 1, I was on lesson 8, for example, and I'm going to start there. So there's different ways you can all get back to the same part, the same place you need it to be. Now you also might want to check out, if you're struggling with anything, some of the class connects that you've missed. You can see we had a class connect here on lesson 106. There was a class connect that went over the 1.12 graded assignment. There was one where it was a Unit 1 test review, one where we went through the 203 lesson, one we went through the 210 graded assignment, and one on the Unit 2 test review. So what you do for that is you just click on the link, or click on the hyperlink, and it's going to download the recording, and it's going to take you right to it. Okay, so that's how you easily access the Class Connect recordings. All right, it's pretty straightforward. You will need to, where we're at right now is we just finished Unit 2. So you're going to want to get through all your Unit 1 and all your Unit 2 lessons as quickly as possible and do them well so you can get caught up, because it's going to be very difficult if you can't get caught up in the time that you have. So please make sure that you are trying as much as possible to get through your missing assignments. If you have any questions, please K-mail me, Mrs. Carr, and I'll be happy to help you. Good luck!